Alright, how's it going, guys? This is SSG, Scoop Steve Gaming. Today I'm going to be doing a deck profile on my World Chalice. I mean, the meta's not really defined yet, but I still think this deck is pretty good. I know links are not going to be being used as much as they were before Master 05, but I still think this deck is capable of maybe topping some events whenever we have them. But I don't know. I still think this is a competitive deck. Maybe like a tier 2, tier 3. Tier 2. But anyway, so first cards is Venus. Venus has always been in the deck, never been taken out. People who ever play World Chalice know that this is a very crucial card to the deck. So Venus, what's cool about her is like you can kind of play through hand traps with her. I mean, if you get Ogre, that's really bad. If you get Veiler, that's pretty bad. But if they Ash it, you can just pay 500 life points again and then summon a Shine Ball, which is pretty cool. I've gone to some events where people would Ash this, and I'll just be like, okay, 500. And they'll just be like, what? And then they read it and they're like, okay, I guess. And then of course the 3 Shine Balls. Even if you draw these, 1 Shine Ball is really good. I know a lot of people hate it that when they go into they play this deck and they're like, well, I hate drawing the Shine Balls. But realistically, like if you have a Shine Ball, I mean, it's cool because it's level 2 because we play Chance Modifier in here, and we can just go into Venus, and you have a lot of ways to recycle your monsters from your graveyard into the deck. So Venus is always like usable. So drawing Shine Balls, having normal monsters are really good in this deck. And then 3 leave the World Chalice with her. So whenever she's normal or special, you get a search one, which is a rotor for the deck, which is really good. I like that it's either normal or special, because sometimes they just say normal and it's kind of whack. But anyways, she has like a lot of combo potential when she's in grave, because when she's in grave, you can discard 1 card and then add this card to your hand. It doesn't have to be a monster or anything. You can just discard a card. So she comes in hand with like other cards that are like dead in your hand or are better in the graveyard. You can just use her to recycle them. And then of course the 3 cup. This card's broken. So whenever you tribute summon this, whenever this is tribute summoned, you get to special 2 World Chalice monsters from your deck. And also when it's in the graveyard, not the same turn that you sent it, you can add 1 World Legacy card from your deck to your hand, which comes up a lot. You play a lot of the World Legacy spells, so it's pretty good in that. And then also, I used to play a variant where you would make Cyber Dragon Nova and go into Infinity, because you can play Machine Dupe. I used to play that back then, but I kind of feel like that play became obsolete because now there's better cards. But that's also a play you could do with this, is when you summon it, you Machine Dupe, because it's 0 attack and it's a machine and it's a dark, so you can just overlay 2 of these and then just, you know, have Cyber Dragon Infinity for no reason. It's pretty cool. And then one of the combo extenders, Exodius. Exodius is really good because you get to shuffle, like I said, if you have Shine Balls, if you drew some of the Shine Balls, you can shuffle them back in. And then also it special summons itself. And then so this deck does like a lot of lane climbing. So it's always good to put back your Link 2s and Link 1s in case you want to have like a follow-up play for next turn, or if you need, you know, that extra oomph to go into like a Link 4. So he's really good for that reason. I like it. And then we play 2 Backhand and 2 Chosen. Usually people just play 3 Chosen, but I like to draw some of the normal monsters, because sometimes if you draw other cards, it's kind of broken. So it's like, well, not broken, you kind of brick if you draw other effect monsters. So sometimes I like just drawing these because you can still do plays if you have 2 normal monsters. So there's those. Then I don't see anybody playing this in this deck, but I like having him for another extender. So like if you have a link monster, which you'll always have, you can special this. And then he's a dragon, so it comes up in sometimes. And then you play 2 of the World Chalice Guard Dragon. He's really good. A lot of people doesn't know he's a hand trap for link monsters. So if your link monster is being targeted, you can discard this, negate the activation. And then also when he's in grave, you can banish him to special summon 1 normal monster. It doesn't matter if it's a World Chalice or World Legacy, just any normal monster. Special it to a link monster an arrow points to in defense position. This comes up a lot. This is part of one of the combos. He's really good. I like playing 2. A lot of people play 1, but I feel like 2 is correct. You play 1 Eva. He's pretty good. And then Christia. Christia is just self-explanatory. You can summon him super easy. As long as you have 1 Venus and all the shine balls in the grave. It's super easy. And then for traps, one of the Phantom Knights, Brigandage. It's really good. Starting to basically set it. You don't have any traps in the graveyard. Summon it. I like that. It's pretty good. It's pretty cool. 3 impermanents. This is the only hand trap we run in here. I just think these are really good, especially right now. The meta's not defined or anything, but permanence doesn't hurt. You draw a lot, so having these come in handy. And then 3 unexpected die because you want to have at least a normal monster. You always want to have a normal monster. Also, they're good to like discard with Lee. So like if it's like having them mid game, it's always good to just discard them that way. 2 transmodify. I used to play 3. I feel like 2 is correct because I kept drawing like 2 at the same time, like in my beginning hands, and it'd just be a dead card. So I play 2 just to be safe. I see it enough to be okay with it at 2. Having it at 3, I used to see it way too much. I didn't like that. And then 2 called by. I want to play 3, but I'm trying to keep the deck at 40. If anything, I might take out the Ava, but for now, I'm just playing 2. It's good because you're such a combo heavy deck, so it's really good to have it. Then you play for the World Legacy targets, World Legacy Heart and Succession. Heart comes in pretty clutch sometimes. Sometimes I just want to run it at 2 because it's that good. So when you search it off World Legacy, World Chalice, you can get some advantage that way. You can add more cards from your graveyard to your hand, and then also if a link monster would be destroyed, you could just banish this. And then Succession, just special summon a card from grave, just reborn. And then E-Telly, monster reborn, and then Avarice, another way to recycle. I think these are just broken cards right now, especially this. Playing this at 3 or 2 is kind of bad because you already played the Exodius, but you could try playing 2. 1's fine. Seeing is good. Then I don't have a side deck just because the meta's not defined yet, so I'm just gonna have an extra deck. Maybe later on I'll update the deck just to see how the meta is, and then I'll have a side deck in there. But as for now, really there's no defined meta, so I don't know what to side. I mean, you could do basic stuff like hand traps, but anyways, Link Spider, good for your normal monsters. It's a good combo starter, along with the M-Ducks. M-Ducks help you a lot. A lot of people don't know is the M-Duck has an effect where if it's pointing to a monster your opponent controls, if it battles it, it'll just send it to grave. So that comes up a lot. I've gone over some like tricky boards or monsters I couldn't just run over. Have this point to a link monster they have, and then or a link monster or any monster, and then just run it over. Well, not run it over, but send it to grave. And then he gives you the additional normal summon for World Chalice monsters, which is really good. Comes in super handy. Then one of the cards I'm gonna start playing. So the reason why I like to have Ava is because you gotta have more fairies in your hand. So what this does is you can negate any spell, trap, or card effect as long as you have a fairy to discard. Then also he gets ritual stuff, but you don't play any ritual cards in here. So whenever he leaves the field, you get 2 ritual cards from your grave. He's pretty cool, but we don't play the rituals. I just like him for the negations. So what you would do is you would go, the first thing you would do with Venus is summon the 3 shine balls, so that'd be 4 summons. You summon this, excuse me, for your 5th summon, and that way you're immune to the rock, basically, because you can negate the rock effect with him as long as you have a fairy, which is most likely because you run so many fairies in here. You're bound to draw one of them and have one of them in your hand, so that's pretty good. That's why I like that one. And then obvious Nightmare Phoenix, get over back row. Ib, the world Chalice Priestess, pretty good just for, you know, for link climbing. Arm for weird hands that you get that you can just play him. Like he's for like the awkward hands you get. So sometimes, because you really want to go into the other ones, like your first one wants to be that Herald of Mirage Lights. You want to go into that first. But if you have like weird hands where you can't make him, you'd make this. And then what's pretty cool is his effect is you can special summon any monster from your graveyard as long as you tribute a World Chalice monster from the arrows he points to. I think that's pretty cool. That's how sometimes I would get Gamma Seal out. Then Liv, the World Key Blade Master. She's kind of tricky to summon because you have to have a World Legacy card engraved, which is the only target. Like, you know, beginning is the World Legacy World Chalice. That would probably be the main one in your graveyard. That's the only way you can make her. Then also, like, it's pretty good because you can set one of your spells and traps from your deck. Binary Sorcerer. Sometimes, you know, you run out of life points. This would gain you life points. And then also it's just for link climbing. Trigate Wizard, because you can still make this easily. This is still fun to play with. Not a lot of people play it right now, but I think it's really good right now. Then Master of the Tenyi, you have so many normal monsters, it's not even funny. So having them engraved doesn't really matter, or having effect monsters on field don't matter, but you have some engraved, so which is pretty good. You gotta just pop monsters. Ningritsu, just draw 3 basically. Skull Dread for Link 4s, pretty explanatory. And then Mekk-Knight Crusadia, Abramax. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the deck profile. I'm gonna be trying to upload more often. I know I've been having like a couple days in between, but yeah, hopefully this inspires you to play the deck. I do stream on Twitch every Monday through Friday. I start like around 6 a.m. PST. I'll have the link in the description for my Twitch channel. I usually stream Apex Legends or Call of Duty, Smash Brothers, Ultimate. And then during in between matches or stuff like that, I'll do test hands of decks that I'm like currently playing, and I'll be like talking about Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff about there. But hopefully you guys can come and join me and watch. Hopefully you guys subscribe. Thank you if you liked it. If you hate it, you know, let me know if you guys didn't like it. And yeah, I'm out.